Guys, welcome to our next episode in solving mathematical problems. So in today we are going to solve this simple equation we have on the board. If today is your first time of coming, please do well to subscribe, comment and share for more exciting maths tutorials that we post daily. So here we are told to solve that x plus y is 20 and x times y is 44. Our goal here is just to find the value of x and y that will satisfy both equations. So first thing we ought to do is that we state that our x plus y is equals to 20. This becomes our equation 1. And we have that our x times y is equals to 44. And that becomes our equation 2. Okay? If you have this now, the first thing we have to do is to make one of the variables the subject of the formula in any of the equation. For me, I'm going to make x the subject of the formula. So if I make x, you can now see that from equation 1, if you are trying to make x the subject, you subtract y from both sides. So you see that x is equal to what? X is equals to 20 minus y. And we can call this our equation 3. Okay? So if we get this, we are going to replace our x to be what? 20 minus y. So if you replace x to be 20 minus y in equation 2, you are having it to be 20 minus y multiplied by y, this new y, and that's equals to 44. The next thing we do is just to open up the bracket, and to open the bracket, we use y to multiply each term in the bracket. So y times 20 is basically giving us 20y, and y times y will give us minus y squared, and that's equals to 44. Okay? So since we have this now, we are going to, this is clearly a quadratic equation, so we are going to subtract 44 from both sides. So we have it that 20y minus y squared minus 44, that's equals to 0. But let's write this in standard of quadratic equation where y squared is starting. To do that, we all have to multiply each term here by a negative 1, and the quadratic equation will now look like y squared, because minus 1 times y squared is y squared. Then minus 1 times 20 will give you 20y. Then minus times minus 40 will give you plus 40 plus 44, 44 plus 44 equal to 0. So since you have this now, what do? We look, can we solve this by factorization? No. So we are going to use general quadratic formula. In general quadratic formula, we can have it that y is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay? So at this point, we are going to pick our a, our b, and our c. And to pick the a, our a is the coefficient of y squared. So our a will be equal to 1. Our b will be equal to the coefficient of y, which is minus 20. And our c will be the last term, which is 44. Okay? So since we have this, what do we do now? We are plugging it back to the equation. So if you plug it back to the equation, you see that y is equals to, b is minus 20. So we have minus 20 plus or minus the square root of minus 20 squared minus 20 squared, then minus 4ac minus 4 times 1 times 44 divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times, our a is 1, 2 times 1. So you see that y is equals to minus 20, minus becomes plus, which is 20, plus or minus the square root of 20 squared is 400. We have it as 400. Then we have minus 4 is multiplying, right? We have it as minus 4. Our A is times 1 is minus 4, and minus 4 times 44. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 1 is 17. We have it as 176 divided by 2. You can see that y is equals to what? 20 plus or minus square root of 400 minus 176 is 224. Then divided by, you can see we have 2. Okay? So you can now see that our y is equal to 20 plus or minus. Let's reduce this to solve. When we do 16 times, okay, we think of two numbers, which is 16 times 14. That will give us a perfect square, then divided by 2. Okay? So here, what do you get? If you take the square root of 16, you have 4. So the answer is now that we have it as 20 plus or minus 4, because square root of 16 is 4. You have it as 4 root 14 divided by 2. 2 divide is 1, 2 divide is 10, 2 divide is 2. So basically, y is equals to 10 plus or minus 2 root 14. This is the value for y. So in that case, we have two possible values for y. That is y is equals to 10 plus 2 root 14. Or we say that y is equals to 10 minus 2 root 14. These are the two possible solutions for y. Okay? So let's find x. We know that we say that x is equals to root 14. That means our x1 will be equal to, the minus will affect everything. So we have it as 20 minus 10 minus 2 root 14, which will give you, which is 10 minus 2 root 14. Okay? And 10 minus 2 root, that means x and y, x1, y1 will be equals to, x1 is 10 minus 2 root 14, and y1 is 10 plus 2 root 14. Good. These are for the x1. Then for the second value, we have that x2 will be equals to 20 minus 10 minus 2 root 14. And that will be that x2 will be equals to 20, this minus minus 10, this will be plus 2 root 14. Okay? So 10 minus 20, 20 minus 10 is 10. X2 will be equal to 10 plus 2 root 14. So these are the two possible values of x, which will be at x2, y2 will be, y2 is 10 minus 2 root 14. The other one will be x1 is 10, x2 is 10 plus, then the y will be 10 minus 2 root 14. And that's the answer. Okay?